be. Or not.
Well, that was fun. I can actually hear the intro. Beforehand, you just had to like pretend and then try to watch it on a separate screen. That's awesome. StreamYard is like kicking up the game.
As Amber throws things across the room.
We can hear it.
We are off to the great start now.
It's Shenanigans. That's how it's supposed to go down. Welcome, everybody. I don't know who's all in. I know I'm here. Amber's here. Carrie's here. Amanda's in the chat. Texas Blue Bonnets. I try to recognize people in the chat. It might be a slow night, and that's fine. Kathy and Katie may show up. Bronwyn is doing her roller derby thing. I think they have their first meet this weekend. I can hear me.
Yep, sorry, that was me. I turned it off.
Like, what is happening?
I mute my phone, but then I forget to turn the volume all the way down. And so, yeah, anyway.
It's because the smartphones are like, you want to hear this, trust me. And they turn, yeah, exactly. All right, so we're all here. It's maybe a slow night. We have I think Katie's going to try to show up. She's doing some sort of rendezvous with her husband in some silo thingy somewhere. There were some kind of cool pictures there.
Oh, that was cool.
It looked
What about
different.
crashing their party for a minute?
Man, Katie would let you too. Katie would totally let you. Aaron would be like, whatever, it's fine. Like if Katie says so, I'm done. That's our kid. It'll work out.
Oh, I need to send you a video. I'm going to text you a video real quick in case you want to use it for this.
Okay, perfect. Yes, and then can we'll use the pictures too. We're going to hop into all of that. Want to take care of some housekeeping things real quick though. Welcome to Shenanigans, everybody. Those of you in the chat, to our fans, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting us. This is a slow moving channel, but at some point in time, it's going to make us all millions. You, me, Amber, Carrie, everybody in the chat, we're all going to make money off of it. And we're all making money off of our own experiences. We're manifesting. Hello, universe, help us out. But this is about our experiences. This is an open chat. This is a space. It's an open space. It's not necessarily a safe space per se. And so by that, I mean, come here, be yourself. If you're an asshole in real life, be an asshole here, but be a respectful one, which means if your views just are not the same as somebody else's, that is okay. That's cool. Try to learn from each other or just try to ignore one another. I don't care which. That's the Shenanigans rule. That's our playground rules, our scope. If you're one of the haters that are watching in the background, because remember, I can see how many are watching and I can see who's participating. And then I get to hear about all the shenanigans on other channels. So I am going to put that out there because I'm being criticized and judged and told that I'm a shitty person. I think the term was a shitty person pretending to be a genuine person was the actual wording that I personally saw. I'm not going to pull this bull crap up. Somebody sent me a screenshot. Somebody sent me this. I got this video. No, I saw it. I was there. I was in the background because I believe if I enter into a chat, I'll be removed and I can't watch in the background anymore. Sometimes it's good to see what other people are up to. And so if you're one of those that's watching and being like, I'm going to go back and tell so-and-so such and such, go tell them. Good for you. Yeah. To the haters out there, get this. If you are one of the hate, there's Kathy. If you are hate watching, good for you because all you're doing is adding to our benefit on this channel. You're helping Kathy, Katie, Carrie, Amber, me, and Bronwyn. If you're hate watching, you are literally helping our analytics. You are literally pushing our channel upwards. So by all means, please do and report back to your minion boss. That would be wonderful. So just want to put that out there because I'm getting criticized left and right. I think it's great because people are going to say, Tara's doing what? Then they're going to come to my channel. They're going to come to this channel. They're going to check out and see what I'm actually doing. So by all means, please keep hate watching. It's beautiful. Free marketing. That means I don't have to do jack. Mm-hmm. Nobody else in the team has to do jack. So by all means, everybody is literally welcome. So those are the housekeeping. Katie may show up. Bronwyn's doing roller derby. So if you saw the thumbnail for tonight, if you read the little show description for tonight, Amber's Amber, I'm sorry, but I'm
I
not
got
sorry.
another story for y'all.
I am sorry, not sorry, but I think the intro on this thumbnail, Amber, I don't know if you saw it, but it said Amber's house is hot, real hot, damn hot. Because I knew the dark humor would be appropriate. So we're going to talk about personal tragedies. There's a lot of things that we see off in the distance, and we always think this is where if you don't understand the difference between sympathy and empathy, this is a damn good example of being sympathetic to somebody, which means you've never been in their position, but you feel for them and you care about what they're going through and you want to help them and you want to support them. Compassion kicks in when you put action behind that sympathy. Empathy is where you're like, I have been in your shoes. I have done what you're going through. It sucks. I'm here for you. And then the compassion, again, is the action behind those words. And so we're going to talk about something that I think everybody says, that'll never happen to me. And it happened to Amber. So I'm going to roll it over to Amber. I don't know if you're going to set it up with the conditions of Friday beforehand, because then I need to pull the photos real quick. I have to send this to myself because you sent those in the group chat, and somebody in the group chat has a flippin' Android phone, which means I can't just pull it from my damn computer. I need to talk to her about her shenanigans.
We should that needs to be her Christmas present this year. We all
You
need
know
to
what?
just like pitch in and buy her an iPhone.
Man, I'm not trying to say it sucks, but I'm tired.
I'm tired of looking at green bubbles.
I know the green bubbles suck so much, and I can't even.
I love you, Katie, but I don't like your green bubbles.
You know what? It's not about love. It's not about love. It's about being pragmatic and being just a conformer to the shenanigans that we're trying to do. Katie, if you're listening, get a damn iPhone or we'll get it for you. So let's see if I can find Carrie, if you find the photo first. Oh, there's the intense photos. Crap, I should have been more prepared, but I haven't. Oh, crap, there's Katie. She heard us. The Force. Hi, Katie. We love you.
The Force. Katie.
She's muted.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you for once. For once,
I had no issues this time.
But Katie is still muted. She must be in the silo where there's no audible. They must not allow the audio. So
we can keep talking shit about you, Katie, and you can't say anything about
man, no, that's just back. It's like a back. What is that fire term called where it backflow? It backflows with Katie. No, because when she comes out, it's gonna suck for all of us. I mean, and I want it. If I could point it somewhere else, I would, because she's got a lot of energy, and I appreciate that. Okay, so I found all the photos. I am pulling them down now so I can send them to myself because somebody's freaking green bubble bullshit. But whatever. We won't talk about that again.
Love you, Katie. Love you, Katie.
It's not about love. It's about technology. Get with the times. That's all I'm saying. She's like,
actually, I used to have Androids. My son finally talked me into iPhones. I actually loved my Androids. Like they were fabulous phones. I didn't have any issues with them. The only reason why I ended up switching to iPhone was because I don't know. I mean, my son talked me into it, and like there were ways that we could talk to each other through iPhone.
Yeah.
That we couldn't necessarily when I had an Android and he had an iPhone. But I mean, now I love my iPhone, so I ain't switching back.
Same. And what the crap, man? I gotta figure out. This shouldn't be that damn hard. Oh, and yes.
Yeah,
I'm glad you told me that.
Amanda, you're right. I had my phone was great at taking pictures.
That's Carrie. Can you pull the photos from the group chat? I can't seem to.
Do you want me to send them straight to your email? Because they're all on my phone, obviously.
Yeah, do that.
Okay. I'll do that quick.
That would be good. So I'll set it up for you. Katie, you're still muted. I don't know if you're just listening as a silent business partner here what's going on, but you're still
Okay.
muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can. About
Okay.
time. You're
Maybe
making
I'll
I'm
get out
not
with her
shitting you.
attitude.
I'm at a restaurant eating with my son and my husband, and I have the dog in the truck, and I am
oh my
like
God.
trying
You
to
are
manage
devoted. You are
my
devoted.
earbuds and like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I can't.
I
And
love
then
you.
anyway,
Only Katie does. You know what I need? I need for other creators to bitch at me about how I have my shenanigans crew sit in closets and in cars at restaurants and do the show live. That's because I need for Katie to hear that and be like, listen here, peoples. This is, I wish you were here for the housekeeping speech I gave. However, so I'm going to set up the scene. We live in the Midwest, all of us, Katie, Carrie, Kathy, Amber, and myself and Bronwyn. We're all in the Midwest. We're all just within a couple hours of each other. And so we had last Friday, we had crazy weather from Colorado clear over to Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, absolutely crazy weather. We had a blizzard type conditions over in Colorado, and I've got family in the Springs area. And then we had wildfires and winds in excess of 80 miles an hour throughout the Midwest, Kansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Texas, all that great fun jazz. And then you go a little further east and you've got tornadoes. So Mother Nature just had like menopause and puberty and a pregnancy all at the same time in the Midwest, like all the emotions, all the hormones, everything all at once. And so what we were going through in the Midwest, again, all of us live within an hour or so of one another, and we're sending pictures to one another in our group chat of these it was so cloudy looking. It was, let me see if I can pull the picture real quick that not that picture. Let me see. I can pull, where's my email at so I can show you what we were experiencing that day. It was like if you're thinking of something cloudy, but it was like a reddish orange cloud. It was, you couldn't hardly see out in front of your face. Amber, send the one right before these.
The one right before those?
Yep, there was one right before.
Oh, when I was like, I'm sitting in my backyard right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
See, StreamYard's working great. I don't have to remove people to see you guys. It's actually just working. There's Max. You got Max with you as well?
I'm in the truck with Max because I'm going to have to drop off here soon to go back and eat dinner. I couldn't get my earbuds to. Anyway, go ahead with your conversation.
Just keep going. Don't mind Katie. It's fine.
Yeah.
So it's very cloudy outside from the Wichita area, clear on down south. It's just all of Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma. It's absolutely terrible. Thank you. I got it. Amber, okay. Carrie sent it to me. And so I am going to show this. This is crazy. Okay. Let me take this one down and let me do a share screen. Let's see if this StreamYard thingy-majigger will work the way it's supposed to. Holy crap. Just share screen. Share screen would be great. That'd be awesome. Oh my gosh. What the crap?
Difficulty.
No joke. This is,
I
should have had Carrie share screen. She knows how to do this shit better than I do.
So at the bottom, you just hit present, but it's got to be
that.
on your...
I know that.
Okay.
I understand that logic, Tom.
I just try to help.
Listen here, you
try to help.
I am at, if you guys, Elgin, it's a historic Elgin Hotel, where the restaurant is awesome. And it's 50% off wine. So I'm drinking like a lot of wine tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I am not upset with you at all.
Oh my God, it's amazing. All right. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, let me try it this way. I get that. God, oh my gosh. Carrie's going to have to teach me how to be prepared because clearly there are issues here. Okay, it's there now. So let's try it this way. We're going to pull an image file. This is awesome. I have no idea what I'm doing. Carrie, where are you?
Get to ducking point. We are professional idiots.
I'm in the chat laughing
So-
at you. That's where I'm at.
You're an awesome woman. Thank you. So
You're so
appreciate. Fuck off. Okay.
Oh, something's happening. Yeah,
Yes,
there we go.
something should be happening, so we can see that. This, okay, so this is Amber's photo before all hell broke loose. Amber, what is this?
Well, I can't
That's my
see
son-in-law's
a damn
picture.
thing. Yeah, I was gonna say that looks like it was taken from a car. I think what I sent to you guys was taken from my backyard, but it basically looked like that's what the sky looked like.
Yeah,
Like,
that was Josh on his
there was
drive.
no.
That was Josh on his drive home from work that day.
Yeah, like
That's
there was
the-
no clouds
yeah.
in the sky. Like that was just the air from all the dust and
was
the
horrible.
smoke, and like there were times where you couldn't even see the sun. It was just so thick.
So that is what. Where is this trying to fucking save to? For the love of Saint Croix, yeah, downloads. That'd be great. Go with that. Whatever. Oh my gosh. Where's the other one? I'm trying to save all the photos so I can bring them all at the same time. So this is what we were. A lot of the Midwest was looking at, right? So it's extremely cloudy. They're telling you to stay home as though it was a blizzard. Don't go out if you don't have to. Stay in, that kind of thing. And so, Amber, you live in the north central Oklahoma, correct? Is that
Right?
okay?
Yeah.
Let me download this last photo because I thought I could just do a screen share and nobody'd be the wiser, but apparently that's not how things work. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the next file and we are going to pull. Okay, Amber, what is that?
Oh, okay. So that's a picture of our house. And that is as we were leaving.
Leaving to do what?
Oh, well, escaping because the cul-de-sac behind us was on fire.
So you're on the west side of a well-known town in Oklahoma. So it's not like it's itty bitty. It's very well known. You're on the west side, just off of a major highway into town, correct?
Right.
And you're on the very edge of town.
You can say the town if you want to. It's been in the news. So, yeah. So I live in Stillwater, and yeah, lots of house fires. So that's my house as well. This is after, and I'll kind of take you through the timeline, when I actually start this story. But this was when my husband returned back to our house.
It's like an hour later, right? Or not even that?
Yeah, it was probably about an hour and a half later.
Amber, what day was this on?
This was Friday.
Yep.
Friday. Thank you.
Yeah. So this is our house that you're looking at with the garage door open with our backyard on fire.
And then if we look at this one.
And then, yeah, that's all of our fences burning down. This is taken from our backyard.
Fences. Yeah, that is your fence ablaze right there.
Yes. Yeah.
And I've been in her backyard, folks. So when I got this picture, I was like, oh my, did the crepe myrtle die with it? That's all I need to know. Because those crepe myrtles.
2 of them caught on fire. But I'm assuming that they are probably going to survive.
That's how that's how those work. They don't ever.
Yeah. There's no killing those things.
No.
So, yeah.
No, they're ridiculous. They're like live forevers.
Mm-hmm. And that's looking towards the neighbors to the south of us, where you see the flames on the left side of that picture. That's the house, not our next door neighbor, but on the other side. And that's a total loss for them.
So this right here, this first darkened area, this is actually your house. This is the first neighbor.
Yes.
This is the second neighbor. And that's what's ablaze.
Yeah.
And you can see people back here apparently just having a smoke out. They're just.
Well, I don't know if that is maybe because my husband had a friend with him. That might be him trying to fight off the fire in the neighbor's yard to keep it from coming our direction.
And then this is as you guys were leaving.
That was as we were leaving.
And then I think we have. one more, and then there's a video we can show. So that's the same one. Okay, let me pull up the video. It's this one, I think. No, okay, no, this is this one. This is cool, not cool type of thing.
Yeah, so this is what was on the news. The red circle down there in the right-hand corner, that's our house. And I'm not sure if you're able to zoom in, but if you zoom in, you see that our house is standing, the neighbor's house is standing, and nobody else is.
Yeah, so this is the street right here. This is the street. When I come to our house, I park right there facing this way. But so there's an outer circle of houses and an inner circle. So the fire jumped to the inner circle. There's only a couple houses on the outer circle that were damaged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the wind blew whatever embers kind of right into the middle of that cul-de-sac and just took out all those houses.
It was unbelievable.
And that's just one street in our neighborhood. Like, we lost about 40 homes just in our direct neighborhood.
Gosh.
And that's just, the street right there. So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so
horrifying.
Carrie, I think this is Carrie's video.
Yeah, Stephanie's, but yeah.
So describe what's going on here and where it's at and what day.
So this would have been, but I came back Monday. So this was this Tuesday. And this is on the interstate between Stillwater and Tulsa.
So this is as you're going into Tulsa. And that's what you get to see. So
that's a whole video too. Can you play it? Will it play? Yeah. So I had just stood on the side of that interstate the day before. It was just insane.
Wow.
That's nuts. So this is, if I know the stretch of road you're talking about, Carrie, this stretch of road, this is just within 10 miles east or west rather of Tulsa on 412.
Pretty close. Yeah, fairly close.
So this is where these wildfires, so the wildfires, and this is not to say this is the same wildfire that hit Amber's place, but there were so many wildfires.
There were so many.
They had to create a map. And once Amber told the group chat that, how do I get out? I know how to do that. Where is remove? When Amber's like, hey, so I'm going to be shopping for it. That's literally how Amber introduced the idea of house fire to us. I'll be shopping for a new house, evacuating now. We're like, what? So I go to a map to understand better. And then I start texting the girls, okay, Amber's house is on fire. Carrie, you've got a fire just a few miles northwest of you. Kathy and Carrie, Kathy and Katie, you both have fires near you. The area that I live in Derby, Kansas, we had fires close enough we could smell the smoke. We had some visibility issues, but nothing like Amber. So you have to walk us through, because you've got a superhero husband out this deal. Like, we knew he was cool before, but now he's Clark Kent kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got the glasses for it. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, definitely. No, I kind of need to I need to walk you back just a little bit though, because just kind of to set the scene of like what was happening here in Stillwater. That's non-fire related. Because this, definitely adds to the issues of the weekend. So, every year, it's usually, like St. Patrick's Day weekend, which is what this past weekend was. So there's this huge bike race that happens every year here in Stillwater. It's like a 100-mile bike race. Thousands of people come to Stillwater for this thing. And so, the town is just full of people, and there are no rooms available. There are no Airbnbs available because they're all taken, right? So, so that's kind of how our weekend started. Nowhere to go if something happens, right? So, so when I was getting my hair done. And when my sister-in-law texted me and she was like, hey, I smell smoke in the air. Do you know if there's any fires going on? And I'm like, well, I'm not really sure. Like, I hadn't really been paying attention. When it's so windy like that, the air looks because there's so much dust blowing. It looks like smoke. And then you start to smell smoke because you're like, yeah, we know that there's wildfires. But I mean, this is just kind of what happens in the Midwest when you've got these, hot, dry days and the wind's blowing like crazy. That it's just, and you don't pay a whole lot of attention to it unless somebody says, hey, there's, actually something close by that you need to be on the watch for. And so I was like, and I'm sure it's fine. I started kind of checking my sites to see like, what was going on. There were some fires like up by the lake, and the lake is like way north of town. There's not a lot of houses up there. And I was like, that's probably what you're smelling. I think we're fine. So I've got, bleach foils all in my hair. When somebody from one of the other salons runs in and was like, hey, I heard that Smokin' Joe's is on fire. Well, Smokin' Joe's is 2 blocks from my house. And so I'm like, oh, maybe I need to pay attention to this. And so then my husband calls and he's like, hey, by the way, I just want you to know that this field is on fire on the other side of the road of where our little housing addition is. He's like, I've been sitting over there watching it just to make sure it doesn't jump the road. But he's like, if it jumps the road, then we're going to have to get out of here. And I'm like, oh, dang. Okay. So time for me to go home. So I tell my girl, I'm like, you got to rinse the bleach out. I got to go. So I run out of there with wet hair to go home and start packing up dogs and packing up like important documents and stuff like that. Takes me forever to get home because the police already have everything barricaded off. I have to talk to every single one of them to be like, hey, I live right here. I got to go get my dogs, So I finally get home like a half an hour later. Took me forever to get there. And I start, getting all the animals packed up and everything. And so Eric comes home and he's like, so, I mean, just kind of to let you know, like who my husband is too, like he used to work for the city and he was the one that like he worked on like our whole water, system for the city, like the entire plan. Like he was the one that kind of did all of that and got all of it built. So he knows where all the hydrants are. He knows like what goes to what and what needs to happen in an emergency like this. And he was like, so I'm sitting over there and none of the hydrants are in use. Like, so he was like, so I called the city and I was like, hey, you guys need to come and get hoses on all of these hydrants because like that's how you're going to keep this from running into this housing addition. And he was like, so they finally come out there and turns out that Smokin' Joe's itself was not on fire, but the field behind it was. And so people were kind of freaking out about that. So the fire department was actually able to use that restaurant. It's a barbecue restaurant, by the way, because, you guys obviously know what Smokin' Joe's is. Anyways, so the fire department kind of camps out there. It's kind of their home base. And my husband's telling them like, okay, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to handle this over here. And he is telling them, you got to keep an eye on this one particular line of trees. Because he was like, that line of trees goes right through the middle of the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And if the fire gets to those trees, it's going to take it into the neighborhood. And they're like, okay, we got this. So anyway, so Eric comes home, lets them do their job. He's helping us like, get everything packed up that we need to get packed up. Then we get to the point where we're like, okay, we're going to go ahead and just start loading up the cats and dogs into the cars because we have 5 cats and we've got 2 dogs. And so we're like, we're going to go ahead and just get them loaded just in case we need to jump in the car and leave. So they're doing that. I'm in the backyard because it's like, I need you to keep a watch in the backyard because if you start seeing any embers coming through the air, then that tells us we need to go. And so that's when I'm sitting back there. That's when I was sending you guys pictures of the backyard, just like, this is my view from back here. Like there were no flames or anything yet. It was just, we couldn't see the sun. It was just dark, And so I'm just kind of hanging out back there. I'm drinking wine because, why not? Might as well have a fucking drink,
That's how
right?
Jim would find me if our house was going to be on fire. Jim would find me on the back deck. Like, this is the last time I get to see this shit. I am going to go out in a blaze of glory. We're going to enjoy this.
Well, it's so funny because when I'm in an emergency situation like that, I become so calm.
Correct.
And so cool and collected. And I'm just like, just going to hang out in my backyard. If I see some flames, then I'm going to go tell the guys and we're going to go. It's fine. Everything's fine.
She doesn't live in denial, folks. She just doesn't have an adrenaline rush. This is why she's not an adrenaline junkie.
I do, like, if our backyard caught fire, then I'd be like, oh, fuck, yeah, and I'd be the one screaming, going, we gotta get out of here. But, that's not really, that wasn't what was happening in the moment. So I'm like, we're prepared. We're prepared. We can deal with this. Everything is fine. And I look at, like, our house, it's all just material things. It can all be replaced. We put our important things in bags. I grabbed some photo albums that I knew I wouldn't be able to replace, and was just like, let it go. If whatever happens, happens. So then the boys decided to go on a drive around the neighborhood because one of our other sons actually lives in our neighborhood too, but closer to Smokin' Joe's than we do. So he was keeping an eye on if the fire crossed the road. So he found that the fire did cross the road. So he calls my husband and is like, hey, the fire jumped the road. I'm going to go and try to, like, stamp out embers. But we were like, okay, so since the fire crossed the road, then, okay, we actually need to think about when we're going to leave. So the boys took a drive just through the neighborhood just to see if they saw any embers anywhere else, just generally keeping an eye on what is happening right now and what do we need to do about it. And so then they pull back up and they're like, okay, that seems to be under control over there. So we're okay for the moment. So a few minutes later, he's like, we're going to go and take a drive again. Do you want to hop in? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll hop in. Let's go take a look. And that's when our son who lives down the street a little ways was like, hey, by the way, the cul-de-sac is on fire behind you. So we need to not go driving around, looking around. We need to go ahead and get out of there. So we were like, okay, we're going to go ahead and leave. So we, jumped in the car and we left. There was a really good friend of Eric's who lives on the opposite side of town where there were no fires. And so that's where we were all going. So it was me and my husband and my son that's living with us right now, our 5 cats and 2 dogs. And then his other son, his girlfriend, another friend of his, and their animals. And then my husband's sister, who is in a wheelchair, and her service dog. So it was a lot of us. There was a lot of animals, but you do what you got to do. So we all drive over to the other side of town and we go to my husband's friend's house. We get there. All of the cats are in separate kennels in the garage. All the dogs get along with each other. But we just kind of have to keep an eye on them, make sure they're not going to pee on anything because, they're chihuahuas and they're assholes. So I'm taking them outside to the backyard like every half hour on the, like just let's take you outside and get it all out of you. And he had bought a couple of pizzas for us so we could have a little something to eat while we're, waiting for our house to burn down.
We're going to eat while our house goes into embers. It's fine.
Yeah. The son that lives with us right now grabbed all of the alcohol because that was what was important to him. So we were, eating some pizza, making ourselves some drinks, right? Right.
It was Kieran.
It was Kieran, yes.
That's awesome.
So we're making ourselves some drinks and we're just hanging out in the dining room.
Oh my God.
You know, just chatting and, you know, what do you do? We're just waiting at this point. And so we realized that even though we like got all the stuff for the pets, we forgot kitty litter. And so Eric and his friend were like, okay, well, we're going to run to Walmart. We're going to get separate pans for each kennel and litter for them. So that way they can all stay in their pens and we don't have to worry about anything there. So they head to Walmart. About that time, Guy's wife comes home and she'd been working all day. And, you know, so she keep in mind, these were like, the guy is like my husband's best friend. Like they spend a lot of time together. Me and the wife, we're friends, but we're not super close. Like this couple is kind of like, they're our traveling buddies, you know?
Yeah.
But not like, I'm not super close with them, but we hang out with them on a pretty regular basis, you know? So I consider them friends. So she comes home and she's not being like her normal, friendly, bubbly self. But I'm like, yeah, she just got off work. So I was just kind of letting her kind of do her thing while we just kind of kept to ourselves in the living room or in the dining room. And at one point, one of my stupid chihuahuas,
Spike.
They did it could have been either one because they're both jerks. They marked this this like rubber bin that she had sitting in the
I was
room.
wondering if that was gonna happen.
So yes, of course, because God, they're jerks and they're in a new place and they have a dog too. So of course, I mean, it's just, you know, it's just what they're gonna do. So we clean that up and she was like, it's probably best that we just kennel the dogs. And I'm like, you know what? That's a good idea. So I fed them. I took them outside once more. They went in the kennel for the night. And so, and then she was like, hey, I've got to go over to my mom and dad's house. They live in the same neighborhood that they do. And she was going to go help them with something. And we're like, okay, well, we'll see you in a bit. Well, about an hour goes by and we're like, where are the guys at? Like, they were just running to Walmart for kitty litter. And my husband's sister was like, you know, they went back to the house to fight the fires. And I was like, no fucking way. There is no way they would do something stupid like that. So anyway, so I send Eric a text. Saying, hey, when you guys come back, can you grab another pizza? Because we were so hungry. And so
while our house is burning down, can you bring more?
Yeah.
Bring more munchies, please.
Yeah, can you bring us more food?
Somebody's porch burned in the air, and now we got the munchies. If you would just please.
So Eric FaceTimes me.
Oh my gosh.
He FaceTimes me. He's on our roof, and he was like, "Hey, yeah."
How did I know he was on the roof? I knew the story.
We didn't go to. We went to Walmart. We got the kitty litter, but then I was like, we got to go check this out. So when I had texted you girls that, yeah, my house is on fire, it's because my husband was like, the house is on fire and I've got the water hose and I'm trying to put it out right now.
Okay, I have to stop.
Oh my gosh, with the water hose.
I know, because when she texted us this, she's like, my house is on fire. My husband's a superhero. I'm talking with Jim. I'm updating him. He's like, oh my God, what the fuck? Like, what's going to happen? What do we do? I'm like, I don't know. And I was like, oh, wait, something about Eric being a superhero. I'm like, he had to have been on the roof. And Jim's like, probably with the fucking water hose. I'm like, that might be the only explanation. We were kind of joking. Like, you get into that, like, when Eric's going to do something Eric-ish, like, what would it be? Standing on the damn roof with a water hose, just fighting the, oh my God, we were.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So he's on the roof. He's fighting the fire at our house, and his friend has the other water hose that's on the other side of our house. Basically, just trying to, like, any embers that are falling, he's putting them out like around the neighbors' houses because we've got two neighbors, one to the north, one to the south, and then the one that's right behind us to the west. Because he was like, if I can keep those houses from catching on fire, that protects our house.
Yeah.
So he's doing that. And then the fire department like abandons our neighborhood. They're like, we're rolling out. We got to go. And I mean, as upsetting as that was to hear, like there were other neighborhoods on fire, and I mean, there's only so many to go around, and
well, they could have been.
They could only do.
I mean, there's a one way in, one way out of your neighborhood, right? I only know.
Yeah. Well, there's two. But the other way out was on the road that was on fire where it started, where the field is. So you could only come in the front way.
There was a safety issue there. They could have been trapped in there if things had gone really badly. The fire department, along with your superhero husband, by the way, and his friend, also could have been trapped in there on the roof.
Could have. Absolutely. So they ended up leaving, and so then at that point, my husband and his friend, they decided that they had to go too, because they can't just fight fires with water hoses, right? I mean, at that point it was like, well, we'll just have to let what happens happen.
Yeah.
So they leave, and at that point we were like, we're just going to have to wait until tomorrow morning and go home and see what we go home to, if there's anything. So they get home, and so
I hear an Eric.
No, this is a Danfer move.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I mean, we're at this place. We're at our friend's house, and we're stuck for the evening. We're not going anywhere. We're not doing anything. We're just trying to relax. So what does Amber do? She takes a gummy.
Had you been drinking?
And
oh no!
I only had one drink, so I knew I was cool.
Lord.
I knew I was fine taking a gummy.
How strong was the gummy? Full gummy or half gummy?
Well, any gummy is strong for me.
Carrie knows, right?
Yeah,
any gummy is strong
what's
for me.
To come now.
Just for context, right? For context, I have tried gummies. I can't do them. I get Kathy. What do I get when I take a gum? What's that called again? It's a migraine of sorts.
The optical migraine?
The optical, I see headaches, right? No matter what I do, no matter how I do it. And I've tried to, because I get massages for neck reasons to avoid neck surgery. Cannot handle that crap at all. The other girls take it like flipping champs. Like they're like, you can't even do a partial one. We can take it. I'm the wine drinker, point blank. The rest of them can take a gummy. They're like, shit's cool. We're good.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing bothers.
Not a problem in the world after 7
everything. And they're not even like, dude, they're just like, all right, so lay it on me, what you got going on. Like they're so cool and tame. I'm like, that's the body. I can do that mentally. That's the body thing that I need. So for you to take a gummy to be like, so Amber took a gummy, when she starts it's like a hold my beer type of, like, this is the context I need you guys to wrap your head. This is going to be abnormal for her when she enters into so I took a gummy, just to let you guys know up front, just so you know it's not my fault. I took a gummy, and it was a bad one. It was stale. It was whatever.
No, actually, this was not the problem. This was not the problem. I'm just sharing this little point.
Oh God.
What I'm about to tell you is going to make you shit bricks. Okay? I'm so glad that I took the gummy, because if I didn't, I would have punched somebody in the throat. But anyway, okay, we'll get there.
Ooh, what kind of punch?
There
like
is
Emerson Biggins kind of punch, or Jay kind of punch?
You know what? I let me get there. I'll let you decide.
God dang it.
Yeah. So I have taken this gummy about the time that my husband and his friend get home. It has hit me quite well, and I was feeling fucking fabulous.
The elegance of that's hit me quite well. I like the elegance of that. You're making it sound more elegant than it turned out.
Oh no, it was great. I'm so glad I was high for this. Anyway, so I get home, and Eric, he's like, we need to talk in private. And I'm like, okay, I'm assuming it has something to do with the house, so I'm like, I'm prepared for this. Our house probably burned down. Like this is, yeah. Anyway,
it's fine. Everything's fine. It's all fine.
we go to the backyard, and we're sitting there on our friend's porch, and he was like, so ever since we left the house, his friend's wife has been calling, texting, like 50 phone calls, 50 texts, like hounding her husband. And so her husband finally calls her and is like, what's up? And she is losing her mind and is like, this is completely unacceptable that these people are in my house. And I don't know what all was said to him, but apparently it was something about how the dogs were pissing and shitting everywhere, which wasn't even happening. Like, they were fucking kenneled. Like,
this is your travel partners.
Yeah.
These are the people you trust to travel with and watch your back when you're in foreign countries and foreign spaces.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. Basically, she was like, I don't want them here. They all have to go.
Wow.
So that's what my husband pulls me to the backyard to say. And he was like, we have to find somewhere to go. And mind you, like what I told you, like what was happening in Stillwater for the weekend, there are no hotels. Yep. There are no Airbnbs. All of the hotels on our side of town also had been evacuated because of they were all located out by where we were. So we're like, shit, we have to pack all this shit back up and we have to find somewhere to go. And it has to be somebody on the opposite side of town. It can't be a hotel. We have to figure out what we're doing. So I pulled my husband aside. I'm like, hey, full disclosure, I am high as fuck right now. I will do anything you need me to do, but please don't put me in charge of anything that's really important because I am not going to come through for you.
Don't make me a leader, make me a follower, please.
Just tell me what. Just give me a little task and let me do it because yeah. So we have to pack up everything and everyone and figure out where to go. At this point, it's 11 p.m. We can't go to our neighborhood. We don't know anybody else that lives on that side of town.
Oh, wow.
We don't know what we're going to do. Finally, we figure out where my husband and I and our cats and dogs and his sister can go. The kids, they end up finding somewhere else that they can go, which was great. That worked out. But in the meantime, while we were trying to figure out what we were going to do, since we had nowhere to go, we literally were like, we're going to have to drive all the way to Tahlequah, which is 2 hours away. And, you were showing the wildfires that were on 412, and we would have had to take 412
us girls
through
have been
all
like,
of that.
No, us girls have been like, haul your ass up north. We'll all take you. The animals and people and all. But that's how that would have gone down.
Yeah. So, but thankfully, we ended up finding a place to go. There's one of Eric's old friends that lives like way north of town. And so we were able to go there and it worked out great. But who the fuck kicks you out of their house when your house is on fire and you have nowhere to go? Needless to say, this woman and I, we are no longer friends.
You weren't friends to begin with, honey.
Cunt.
You weren't friends to begin with.
Like,
I don't it's there's
yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'll tell you who does that kind of shit is somebody who tolerates and is not sympathetic. Like she is
selfish.
So
like one of the most selfish people I've ever known. Like I would take in my worst enemy.
I was just going to say, I would let strangers stay with me in that situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I mean, that's what we opened up our spare room, our son staying with his mom for a few days because we were waiting to see who might need this who might need this room to stay in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't care if I've never even met them before. They can stay here. I don't care. Like, this is, yeah, I don't even have the words for.
Sounds like a real
for
piece
this.
of shit.
Yeah,
Really.
absolutely. Yeah.
Man, I'm just in awe, right? Because it's clear that there is a crisis. I don't know about your governor, but our governor in Kansas called state of emergency prior to fires breaking out, because there was a chance of fires. There was a chance of tragedy. There was a chance of disaster. So I can only imagine what your guys' governor did. And then
he was right here in our neighborhood.
We had to be, because you guys were hit hard.
Yeah. Asking for help. So,
and so for somebody, and I get it, it's a lot of stimulation, right? It's a lot of people, it's a lot of animals, but at the same time, it's an unusual situation. It's a unique situation. It is above and beyond the call of duty. And you know what? At that point in time, swallow your pride, swallow your problems, and just take care of what needs to be taken care of. There's very few people I would turn away. You, Carrie, Kathy, Kitty, and Brahman could probably all name at least one person. I'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to help you. There's somebody else who likes you better than I do. Surely there is. But for the most part, yeah, I've got extra space. Kyle and Jim would be the same way. Like, this is terrifying. This is upsetting. Like, I cannot believe somebody put you out, you and Eric, with the kids. And even if it was just take the kids out the picture, just you and Eric, to say, no, you guys can't stay here. Sorry. Yeah. And then to be such the kind of individual to say, dear husband, I don't have the backbone to tell this lady that's sitting right here.
She never came home. She was still at her parents' house.
I'm like,
if you have such a problem with us staying there, why don't you stay at your parents' house and let us stay here? Like, I
had no problem leaving you there until she made her husband kick you guys out.
Right.
So what's the problem?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Eric's like good best friend.
Like best friend.
So how did Eric take this? Like, he had to deliver the bad news to you. He's put in an awkward position, and then he's got to put you in an awkward position. Granted, you were high. You didn't know in your awkward position. You're like, okay, I guess this is what we're doing now. Like, all right, no big deal. Like, had you been sober, you'd have been like, first, I'm gonna kick a bitch.
That's the thing. Had I been sober, I would have went to her parents' house and I would have punched her in the face. Because who the fuck does that, right? So I'm like, I'm kind of glad I was high, because then I was just like, okay, let's just go.
Amber, for all the atheists and agnostics out there is a God, and right there is flipping proof. Dear Amber, take the gummy. Trust me. Yeah. Not going to tell you why, but it will become the reason.
The universe was telling me, you get high right now. You're going to need this.
You're going to need to be high for this one.
Yes.
Hold on. What did Ducking Point say? Tara turned me away last week. She'll do. I'll do what? I wouldn't do anything. I always can't. Wait, hold on. Why is Ducking Point starting crap with me in the freaking comments? What do you want from me, Duck? I always ask first, can you have a case of whiskey? I always have whiskey and bourbon, and you know it, and it's probably Irish. I'm Irish. That's all there is to it. But that's I've been talking a lot. Kathy and Carrie, you take this one. I'm gonna drink my ginger lemon tea.
You sound so disappointed.
Your ginger lemon tea.
Do you hear her voice?
Yes, this one is. I drink the whiskey. This is my ginger. It's my digestive. I'm issues. Get to the Ducking Point. You guys talk.
I've just been listening. I just can't believe that his friend would do something like that. That kind of shit blows my mind. That I don't know. I'm like, we're just really community oriented, and usually, communities help each other, but especially friends.
Yeah,
that's just wild. So sorry that she did that to you guys.
Kathy, give us
crazy
for a stressful time.
Right. Kathy, can you see the other gal's point by any luck of her hope? Okay, I was just making sure.
There's no excuse for that at all.
No.
You guys were in a desperate situation, and anybody in their right mind would help.
Right. Yeah.
When you said you had Eric's sister, you had a Sheila with you, right?
Yeah, the one in the wheelchair.
But get that, his sister is in a wheelchair. Not like wheelchair where you can help her stand up and move her
Wow.
around. She is
Yeah, she's
wheelchair
paraplegic.
ridden. And they
Yeah.
kicked her out.
Kicked her out.
Unbelievable.
Like, so this wasn't just two able-bodied people. It's two able-bodied people helping his sister. And
I'd be considering putting a person on blast. I'm not gonna lie. I think I really would.
Yeah.
And I've seen Carrie, and
Yeah.
for Carrie to say that, we've seen some crap on the YouTube
Yeah.
community. That's saying a lot. That is saying a lot.
Why are there 2 Carries on screen right now?
Yes, explain
You
yourself.
did a double dose of me
What
tonight.
I didn't know what twat waffle, Amanda, but because twat
A
waffle is my favorite.
twat-sicle? It's a twat waffle, but they're cold. A
That's
cold,
very cold.
hard
I like
twat
this.
waffle.
I'm gonna hold on to that because that's where what does twat stand for? That's where there we are then. That's how I can say it at work. There we are then, and I'll have to add some icy stuff to it for the gal at work. There we are then. Yep. Yeah, the twat-sicle works really well because that's the cold version of twat waffle. I get that. That's appropriate. Absolutely appropriate. What?
Cunt muffin?
I like Amanda has got them. That's awesome.
Yep.
I'm not going to say that one. That's awesome. I like it. For those of you that are listening, go back and read the chat. I feel bad to say. What else have you got, Amanda? Amanda needs to show up more often. She's got all the great names to call out to people because that's fitting. The see you next Tuesday muffin. That's awesome. It's amazing. Amanda's a favorite in the show now. Oh, so okay, so you're kicked out the house. You've got our paraplegic sister. You've got 6 animals. You've got a place up north. You finally get to where you can rest for the night, wake up the next morning, and then what happens?
Well, we head back to the neighborhood because we're like, we got to see what's up, you know? Do we have a place to live or do we got to figure our life out? And thankfully, like they had put so much water in our yards and then in our 3 neighbors' yards that the fire never started back up again. So our house was still standing and all 3 of our neighbors' houses were still standing. And I mean, if it wasn't for Eric and his friend doing that, like we all 4 of us would have lost our houses. So, I mean, we definitely like all of our backyards burnt, the fences burned down, the fireplace and like, you know, roof and like there's a lot of damage, definitely.
Are you in your house?
But our house is livable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had some water damage inside, but I mean, yeah, we have a place to live, you know?
Good.
So now we just got to wait for, you know, the insurance folks to come by and that's probably going to take a while. Cause I mean, there's a total of like 80 homes that was lost just in this area, half of those being here in this neighborhood. And that's like total loss. There's plenty of us that also just have damage. So I'm not sure how quickly we'll be able to actually talk to those folks. But anyways, but I mean, you know, in the grand scheme of things, we're good. We're good. You know,
a lot of smoke damage.
Probably. I mean, it's still, you can still smell it in here. Definitely. I did like I scrubbed every inch of this house over the weekend though, just to try to get all the soot out.
You're so busy as it is already with your other new endeavors.
Yeah. We were supposed to finish everything over the weekend and I was going to try to get my CO on Monday, but we've been just too busy. So, but thankfully, I mean, we're still getting through that this week too. So
awesome.
we'll get it all done.
So I have a question. This is going to be a roundtable question. So everybody, and Amber, I want you to answer last because it's going to be the most probably value added answer. Carrie and Kathy, I think everybody in the chat as well chime in. There are times, right, where we hear about devastation, we hear about disasters, and we think, okay, that sucks for them. That's probably never going to happen to me. And then it gets closer and closer to home to the fact it hit one of our girls. And I know Jim and I struggled Friday night knowing that your house was on, like because we were in our new house. Jim and I just bought a house and we're in our new house and we felt guilty. Like we felt, and we knew you wouldn't, like that's not something you would entertain for a second. But we felt guilty and bad. We're like, we're an hour and a half away. What the hell can we do? Like how do
we all were very concerned.
Oh yeah.
I was in a different country and couldn't help.
Yeah.
She was in a different, she's not like she was on vacation, but she was on vacation. But that's the thing too, is like this won't happen to me. It happens to these other people and these other places. These people show up on the news. These people show up on YouTube. These people show up on Facebook posts and other social media type of platforms. And they reveal the devastation. They show their pictures and you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry for you. And then it hits this close and you're like, oh my God, this was close. Like it's a different realization for me. Kathy, you were countries away. You were thousands of miles away and even super different time zone. So you probably weren't even awake when this was going on. So you woke up to WTF all over your phone.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about the fires or even the crazy winds that we were having until I got Amber's text. So I had no clue what was going on. And then, of course, I'm scrambling to check in with our house sitter and making sure everything's okay here. And, it's kind of scary when you're far away and you can't do anything about it. So, but yeah, glad you're okay and glad that everything is working out for you, Amber, because it was pretty scary there for a little while. I know it was for you. Very, very, very lucky, very fortunate.
Definitely. Yes.
And then when you put things into perspective, you're okay. Even though your house may have not been okay, you are okay. And that's what's most important.
I agreed.
Yeah. Human life is way more important than any material things.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
What about you, Carrie?
What was the question?
Did you take a gummy too?
I was going to say, somebody's had her gummy tonight. I'm definitely in tune with the conversation. Because too close to home. It happens to everybody but me. It happens to everybody but people I know.
Think that, I'm just giving you crap. I think you are. That, we all get, and I'd like to tell my husband this a lot, we get like too lax and too, almost kind of, I don't want to say lazy because that's not the right word, but when I've always said, about the time you think something will not happen to you, it absolutely will happen to you.
Yeah. It does. So I've known Amber, we're coming up on 20 years now. It's
damn, girl. That's right. We did meet in 2006.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
we need to celebrate.
I know.
Next year, 20 years.
I know it. So as she's sending these photos, and I'm close to all the women in our group, I would tell these women anything. And I'm sitting here watching my best friend of 20 years losing her house as I'm moving into my new one or trying to move into my new one. It's just like, you've got to be, there's no way that there's no way of all people that Amber's going through this. There is no, and Jim's just trying to console me, but at the same time, he's like, what do we do? How do we help? Do they need anything? Like, do we rush things down there? I'm like, I don't know where we rush them to because they may not have a house at the current time it's burning down. And that's when you were trying to deal with, well, now we have to pick up and move somewhere else. And it made it so real that this stuff does happen close to home to the point where it's right on top of you. So that was a big realization. Like it was too real for me. And I wasn't even the one in the midst of it. So it still blows my mind. I'm glad your house is livable. I'm glad that you have a space where you don't have to worry about if somebody's going to kick you out, because how much more stress, such unnecessary stress to have if somebody's going to tell you, hey, like this has been fun, but you got to go because this disrupts my everyday routine. It's like your everyday routine.
Right. Lady, how about mine?
You twat-sickle, I just lost my house. What do you think about my routine?
Right.
So when you come to that point, right, where you hear these things, it's like, that will never happen to me. The tornado takes that house, and then it skips yours. You're like, look, didn't happen to me.
Yeah.
And it did hit your house, despite the fact you still have one. Like, it was so close. I mean, I cannot imagine how, the hindsight when it starts kicking in after the gummy kicks out. How
Kicking in after the gummy kicks out.
I'm never gonna live that down. That's okay. That's all right. You know what? Next time I'm in a stressful situation, I'm just gonna be like, give me a gummy. I don't give a shit.
You know what? Until I can partake, shut up. That's all I got. You guys can kick in and kick out the gummies. All I got's the one. And I can only have so much before I'm like, this is going to hurt tomorrow, and it's not even that much. Like, I have to minimize myself, right? Because I'm getting too old for this shit. But when I think, it's just too damn close to home. Can you move somewhere where they don't have wildfires, please? That'd be great. That'd be awesome. So we can stop worrying.
Right.
Because now I'm like, is her house going to fall in on her? Is it structural? Like, I ask myself questions every day about your situation because of what you've been through. Because I need the confirmation to know that your house is good. Everything is good. It's going to be okay, because it just got too close to home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't have the fires here, but we did have the extremely strong winds, and we just put a brand new fence up around our house 3 years ago, and it took out 3 panels like you'd see in our backyard. I'm like, oh my God, get a fence back up quick.
Yeah.
But I mean, it did that, took shingles off houses here. We've got, trees that are broken down. So it did some damage that way, but thank goodness we didn't have like those fires and stuff. That I would be terrified.
Yeah, as soon as Amber announced, I had to go to the map to see where the fires were in regards to all of you girls. And that's why I'm sending texts like Katie and Kathy, it's here in regards to you guys. Carrie, it's here in regards to you guys. The way the winds were blowing, the way things were going, we were okay in Derby, but it was scary that day. Like, it was
scary.
Smoke was in the air. And it was almost like if you think of Venus, the planet Venus, and that orangey white outer layer of Venus that they often show you in the old photos from the old science books, and you take that and you make it into like a up front in your face, because the sky was literally orange. Everything around you was orange from the wildfires, because the winds were picking up and blowing everything. And allergies were completely out of control.
Yeah.
They were.
I think I was sneezing all day.
Oh, I'm allergic to something from flipping Texas, because it shifted everything along. Like, it was so bad.
I think
so
that
bad.
when, Dale lost his voice, he lost his hearing, but that's a whole nother episode of
That's just Dale. It depends on who's listening to it. So if you're nagging him, I can see why his hearing is off.
I said your hearing didn't go with that voice. Listen up, buddy. But yeah, the allergies. I mean, I think that's what it is. It's just allergies. His throat was really scratchy and hurting, and then all of a sudden the voice was gone, and it was a day after, all of the winds.
It's unreal.
Horrible.
It's unreal. It was a close hit. I mean, I think the closest I've been to kind of tragedy was a very small tornado hit my house several years ago in Derby. It was early in the morning, and it bitch slapped my house from both sides. We knew it was a tornado at the time, and it took out my front tree and my.
And what's funny about that? Going back to your question, like me saying we get kind of lax. The tornadoes. I mean, most of us here in Oklahoma, we go stand out on our porches and video.
Right.
Yeah. We do. We're not really that,
because we know that most likely
they're not going to hit us.
It's not going to. Yeah.
Correct. Correct. Agreed. Totally agree.
But at any point, we're out there videoing that could happen to us. So it's just probably, always good to keep that in the back of the mind, and not overly stress about things, but be prepared.
Yep.
I'm not prepared at all for anything.
I'll have Jim help you. He keeps us prepared. We have we have an emergency bag. We've got first aid kits in every room of every house. There's fire extinguisher. I mean, he
prepared. I like it.
Oh my God. He's like the Boy Scout that never was. He was never in Boy Scouts, but he's more prepared than one. I'm just like, dude, it's okay to relax and take a breather. And he's like, nope, we have to be prepared all the time. I'm like, that's nice. He was like, well, in case the apocalypse.
Sarah's like, can I have another bottle of wine, please?
As long as there's a bottle of wine, that damn emergency kit, I don't care. Like, as long as I'm stuck, because I can't have no damn gummies, we'll get through it that way. That's all I have to say. Oh my God.
I'm so sorry you had to go through all that, Amber. I really am. And
yeah.
still have to
Yeah.
deal with a lot from it. But yeah, thankfully your house is still there, and of course you got.
Yeah. I mean,
kind of, you could
I'm
have gotten a
far
new
more
house out the
worried.
deal.
Huh?
I mean, kind of, you could have gotten a new house out the deal.
Right. Damn it.
And screw that friend.
Oh,
Yeah.
screw the friend. Yeah. Not a friend anymore. No. So this weekend, my neighbor and I, we love Halloween, right?
Is
And
that
so
neighbor? I knew it was that neighbor.
every Halloween, we basically kind of have a party in her garage, and we have giant bowls of candy for the kids, and I make Jello shots for the adults. So that's the Jello shot house. Like everybody knows that. And so Saturday, what we're going to do is we're actually going to kind of have like another big party in her garage. We're going to have food. We're going to have alcohol. I'm going to make Jello shots. Because, Saturday people are going to be here trying to, load up trash and clean their property up and that sort of thing. And so we're going to be like, come to the Jello shot house, come have a drink with us, come make yourself a sandwich, meet your neighbors.
What's left of
And
them.
then we're going to have like like basically have people drop stuff off there, like hygiene items, clothes, like whatever people who lost their houses might need, just like essentials and stuff like that. So it's like, we didn't lose our houses, so we got to do a little something to
That's awesome.
help the people that did.
I was going to say, I think the community there is doing a really good job at helping each other, aren't they?
Yes, they really are. They
so
really are.
With that, is there a site, some sort of website or something that, because not everybody who listens is local to you or me or us, is there a way for people to help out if they wanted to or could?
I honestly don't know yet. I have not seen like one thing that's like been floating around on the internet or anything like that yet, unfortunately.
Okay, no big deal. So,
but I mean, if somebody does want to help, they're absolutely welcome to reach out to me, and I can, get something wherever it needs to go. So, yeah.
As well, and there's if you have, let's say, does your Shimmer by Amber have a Venmo? Does your business have a Venmo account or something like that? That I don't even know. Like, there's got to be.
I do. I mean, I would rather use like maybe my personal, because my business one always like they take a chunk of everything that comes through.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, where my personal one doesn't. So. Yeah.
Okay, so let me hit up the banner real quick, and that way, let's try this in case people. Where's the damn banner at? Oh, there it is. If there's a desire to help, contact me and I'll connect you to Amber. There's no pressure or anything like that, but people always want to get involved and help out, and there's got to be a way to do that. And so I wish SheNanigans had a Venmo account, because we can collect that way and send it over to you, but we'll get it figured out one way or another. But especially with your neighbor.
In the chat.
There we go. That'll work. Oh, cool. Perfect.
I put one in the chat too.
That's even better. Because I want it to be legit too. I don't want it to look like, oh yeah, we're collecting money, but we're going to use it for an.
No, that's great from Visit Stillwater.
Yeah. Yep. Perfect.
Oh, nice. Okay, thank you.
Even better. Yeah. See, she's quick like that. This is why she's the organized one.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah. I've barely been on social media, because I've just been like, in my own little world over here. So.
That's expected. I don't blame you.
Katie's trying to get in, but I don't see, like, I can't let her because her device is not connected. I don't know what she's doing. She's like, let me in, damn it, in the back chat. And I'm like, you're not even there to let in. Katie, if you're listening with the gummies, if you can say, okay, to get Amber gummies, you can just hit up the website, the SheNanigans Hawks at Gmail. You can hit up the anonymous number. I will send you her address to send her gummies. Support the cause. And across supporting causes, I will hand you my address for wine distribution. That'll be great too. Whatever.
There you go.
I mean, if you're going to benefit, I might as well as well.
And Carrie needs some cigarettes since apparently we have an issue with that.
That's right.
Yes, because she can smoke where she wants to. I'm just going to point it out for shenanigans' sakes, by the way.
Yes.
Dear Lord. Like, she won't even come on camera. She's like, I'm not coming on camera anymore if you're going to give me crap about smoking. I'm like, that's awesome. That's
we
great.
do not give two shits.
Do what you want to do.
That are watching, like I do have my camera on sometimes, and then I turn it off to smoke and stuff, just to be respectful to all of you that don't smoke. That's the only reason I
Wait, it's not because I told you that you can't smoke? Or is that what you're saying? Because I feel like maybe I'm controlling your smoking habits.
That would be funny.
And yes, Amanda, we do know that you can't legally ship any of that. We're just fucking around. It's totally good.
Poor Katie.
I love her. I know Katie's trying to get on. Her device is not connecting. I don't know how to help her. I need her to be listening to the chat. Just freaking, I don't know how to get her in here. Like it says device is not connected.
Katie, are you drunk dialing us?
No, but Max, maybe. Amanda was screwing around too, she says. Well, that's not very nice. We can screw it. If you're going to be serious about sending gummies, be serious. To them, not me. I don't do them. I do wine only.
I'm going to slip it in a drink.
It is drink mine. You've seen me on a gummy. It is not appropriate. It's weird. I'm like, do you guys see that? And you're like, see what? I'm like, never mind. I didn't say it. I didn't say that last time.
We'll have to.
Last time I saw you on Gummy and Wine, it was a little bit different than what you're talking about, though.
Correct, but that was different. Correct. Katie, it's not connecting. I don't know. It says they need to connect their mic cam before you can add them to the stream. You gotta connect something on your end, honey. It won't let you in. I want to. Trust me.
Kicking her so she can come back.
She's gonna get so mad at me.
Amanda said, please video that shit if you slip one in. I trust me, Amanda, it will be videoed and played.
I will not be drinking around these women ever again. This is the closest to drinking with these women I will ever be is distance.
She's lying.
She's not lying. I don't trust these women now. Let's not do this.
That's right. We're going to stick together. We'll get her.
Mm-hmm. Not hanging out with you people. Nope. We're just going to do shenanigans, double trouble Thursdays. That's it. I like that. Oh my gosh.
If Katie's still watching, if she can exit out of the old StreamYard she opened earlier, exit out of those and then click the link and try again. Here, I'll put the link.
Yeah. Katie, go to the chat in the, if you're listening, Katie, God, I hope she is. Go to the chat. In the chat, that's going to be for Katie only. If somebody else tries to come in, I'm not going to let you in. Neither will the other admins. That's just for Katie, trying to get her back in here. Yes, Texas Blue Bonnets, we are hilarious because that's just shenanigans that we are. As you should see us on travel trips. It's hilarious.
Katie's in the back
chat. Which we need more of.
Katie's in the back chat.
She's trying to knock on the door.
She's like, let me in. We'd love to let you in. We'd freaking love to let you in. Oh my gosh. We are not sharing anything. Y'all stop talking about sharing crap about me. We are not sharing crap. Yes, Amanda, buzzkill. Correct. I am the buzzkill. Why are you laughing?
It's funny because it's true.
Oh, that'll be funny to hear on other channels. Trust me. Wait 10 minutes. Nope, not waiting nothing because I will be not drinking around these women ever again because now they're gonna roofie me and I know it. Not gonna happen.
You'll enjoy it.
Listen to you sound so you'll enjoy it, don't you?
You'll enjoy it.
She should. Oh my God. I will no, just not gonna do it. We need to try to get Katie back in here. Katie, we're running out of time. Hurry your butt up.
She cracks me up.
I know. She's awesome. I have needed her at work the last few days. I'm just like, I need somebody who will throat punch without thinking twice. Thanks. And that's where I needed Katie at. But I don't know where she's at or what she's doing or what she's trying to. Oh, I probably ought to check my cell phone to see if she's like, let me in.
I wonder where Cash is at tonight. Oh, which reminds me.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
for any of you that are in the chat that know Yep, who was a mod here and a mod on my channel, we recently found out that Yep had been scamming online for quite some time, years. So if any of you have contacted her or been in contact and have given her any kind of personal information whatsoever, or feel that you had been scammed from her, then they need to contact, who is it, Tara? Which county?
They need to Spokane.
Spokane,
Do
Washington.
not contact Stevens County, contact Spokane County. I will build upon that here in a second.
Wow.
Yeah, so I just wanted to let the viewers know in case you've had any contact with her.
So I'm going to build on that now because and I talk to this individual on a pretty regular basis. I knew her as Mora. Her aliases are Ann Jenkins, Megan Walker. There's a few others in there. First off, yes, I talked with her several times, but it was a regular check-in. Hey, how you doing? Thinking of you type of stuff. I get that from several people. It's a very nice gesture, but it was never, there's no training of personal information. I knew she had some medical issues. Didn't really get into that very much. I knew Carrie talked to her a little bit, but she was very much like, hey, this is going on, that's going on. Go take a look. Here's a link. Cool. There's some speculation. There's some conversation. There's different things being said out there about how close Carrie and I were with Yep. And so to that, I have to say this, unless you hear it from us, it's probably not fact. And I'm going to say it far more bluntly. Oh, Kathy left. She did a Irish goodbye. I was like, oh, somebody's missing. So Carrie and I have not addressed this situation in the YouTube true crime community yet because we want to make sure what we address is accurate. It's correct because that's what we're known for. Carrie built that reputation solid before I came along. I'm not going to tarnish it. And we have been investigating the situation. We do have some information, but we need to validate it first. But if you're going to go out there and try to speculate with your fan base that we were super close, you might come ask the source first. And if you're half the person, if you have half the character you say you do, then you will go back and ask the source regardless of things that have been said in the past. If you honestly think that somebody has an inappropriate relationship with a scammer, it might be good to say, hey, looks like you guys were kind of close. What's going on? And hopefully you feel like you can get the truth. But it really sucks to hear somebody go out there and put information that they can't back up.
Yeah, Tara and I both came across Yep from the murdered Kansas women case. She had been coming into my chat really every live.
She's very active.
So that would have been, it was around maybe May of last year. And that's about when our first kind of communication started with her, but it wasn't anything personal. It wasn't like that. It was like email here and there. But I made her a mod on my channel because she was a mod on other channels in the community that were well respected. And as a mod, they're typically the ones, you have a little bit more respect for you. They're going to be putting out the truth. They're going to have the same moral values, blah, 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 as the creator does, things like that. And so I had seen her for, at least a couple years just in the community, in chats. And so she had always come across as a very sweet, kind person who had, the same values that Tara and I do. And so we didn't think twice to make her a mod. And then, of course, Tara made her a mod over here, and she was a good mod. I mean, and we did have contact. There's a ton of texts. Some were daily even. But she's just turned out to not be a good person. And
she didn't try to scam us.
She did
not target us. We were not her prey.
Well, looking back on some of the texts, I think that there's a possibility she might have been leading to that.
Oh yes, agreed. But we didn't take the bait. That's the difference. We did not take the bait.
we were definitely told all the stories of her, having a lung removal and raising kids by herself, and just different things like that. That if you've been following anything, yep, you've already heard it all anyway.
Yep.
But we did think she was a good person, and it was really kind of mind blowing when we found out what was going on. And the last live that Tara had, Cash came in and he said something about it. But at that point, all we had seen was one post of Cash's. So we didn't know the whole story. There was nothing that we could address without just starting rumors, and because we didn't really know what was going on at that point. And then the next day, we started finding out a lot. Yeah. Yep. She was a mod in many crime channels.
Part of her MO.
Yeah.
As we have learned, we can prove it was part of her MO. That's her. If you're not familiar with true crime, it's method of operation. She became a mod because it's immediate trust. If a mod so think of it as a mods are like the gods of YouTube. If they have the wrench, that means they've got the power. That means when the host is hosting the show, the mod gets to facilitate everything else. And depending if there's 2 different types of mods you can have, she was one of my administrative mods, which means she could get rid of people. She could ban them. She had full power because she presented to be a reliable mod.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much. And then you have a mod that'll text you and contact you and say, hey, here's my personal social media account. Here's my cell phone number. Text me anytime. And then they use that to manipulate the trust factor and to become a benefactor of that trust so that they can scam you. But what they're looking for, right, is the weekend prey. They're looking for people who be like, when they say, oh, I'm in the hospital, which is one of her stories. I'm in the hospital. I need $200 just to get through the week. I don't know where it's going to come from. And they find some unsuspecting soul who thinks, you're so great. You're so wonderful. You're a mod on multiple YouTube channels. I'll help you. And then all of a sudden they're getting $200 from this person, $200 from that person, $200 from that person. And so for others to consider that just because we didn't address a situation, and I may have upset Cash because I didn't address it at the time.
Yeah, we really didn't know what's going on.
So to be fair, and I think Amber, when you were on the last live 2 weeks ago, right, with SheNanigans, were you? No, you were not there. So Kathy, Carrie, and Katie were then. I have to go back and look at the video. I try to do a briefing before every SheNanigans. I let the girls know the studio is open. When I say studio is open, I mean I'm on, but I'm not on live. There's a back studio where we can kind of talk and interact. We're not live yet. I hit a button, we go live. Takes about anywhere from a few seconds to 30 seconds, depending upon the intro. So before that show, I let the girls know, look, we've got this situation. We don't know what's going on with it yet. I don't want to address it here because we don't have the facts. We need the facts. Carrie and I are part of Carrie's True Crime Podcast. It is a fact-based platform. We're going to stick to the facts. We don't have any. If we see any comments about the scammer, Yep, or Maura or Megan, please ignore and move on. And that is what everybody did. And so in the mods, I've got a couple of other mods out there. They were aware of the rule. And so they left it alone as well. They all minded my boundary that I put down because we just didn't have enough information. We're at a different point with information. We'll take that back to Carrie's channel because it is a true crime situation. But for other people to say, oh, they must have been good friends because they're not addressing it. No, that is not the case. We just don't address something to address it. We don't go live just to go live. We want factual information and we want to back it up appropriately. So if you're into that kind of thing, there's great creators that put stuff out there just to put stuff out there.
Patrick, that's funny that you say that. Actually, Yep, brought true crime into true crime channels, literally.
Correct.
Made a community post on my channel and somebody made a comment about being drama. And I said, I don't do drama here. This is actually true crime. She has committed multiple crimes.
Yes.
Became the true crime story. So I'm so appreciative for Cash for being come out and let us all know what was going on. And then had scammed him out of thousands because the amount of chaos she could have continued Tariq and all, and she wasn't just in one community. I mean, she was in the drama community, the trauma community, the true crime community. She was literally everywhere in every chat. And that's why she was trusted. So I Cash truly, because we might not, the honest truth is if Cash hadn't come out and said anything, we might not have known.
Oh, you know what? I am going to address this head on. And Carrie, you don't have to, but I will. There's a creator out there that keeps trying to tie Carrie to the Yep situation. She's not using Carrie's name, but I'm getting multiple texts. I think they're live. This creator is live right now. So we can't even see that live at all because we're live. Carrie is not tied to the Yep situation in any fashion. Anybody who says otherwise is full of it. They've not done their homework. And that's going to, I don't get too sideways. Amber's known me long enough. Carrie's figured out about me. I don't get sideways about people very often. But if you're going to put out absolute lies like that without backing it up, I will confront you on it. So think really, really carefully before putting Carrie in the same sentence as Yep in terms of guilt and not guilty.
Oh yeah, I want Yep. I want everything found out, and I want her charged like she should be. But I can tell you that my first message with Yep ever was, and there's a lot of texts because
there's a ton of them.
A friend to you, and also I was going through the really hard time when Megan passed. And at that time, the messages really picked up. And
holy crap! No, Carrie is not Yep. Whoever is, there's actually literally somebody in the other creators live asking if you're Yep. For the love of St. Croix.
October 14th of 24 is my first text.
Idiots.
Oh yeah. So Yep has been on, and if people go and watch, I don't know. It's just stupidity.
God. It is.
My face has been shown on my channel and this one multiple times. I've been.
Well, your voice is even remotely close.
My voice is not the same.
Not at all. Jeez.
That's just silly.
That's a stupid question. I don't. Is Carrie Yep? No, crying out loud. That's the kind of drama that some creators live by.
Get started, and that's why we didn't address it. And that night we didn't know. So
no, and I'll tell you
what's going on. And another, like, we won't say somebody comes in into one of our chats with, something that's rumor, something that we know is not factual. We can't prove it. They can't prove it. We're not pinning that comment on the screen. When we pin it, usually it's, we agree with that. We agree with what you're saying. And we want the viewers that watch this after the live ends, we want you to be able to see those comments. So if we're pinning rumor type comments, then we're not being very with the viewers, is, I guess. Patrick wants to know real quick, why am I on screen twice? Because I'm on my phone talking, and then I realized I couldn't pin comments on my phone, so I opened up my laptop and signed in too.
So when she says pin comments, Patrick, when we pin comments, right here is pinning a comment. You can't do that from your phone very well. You need to be, because we use StreamYard, you need to be on a laptop to make it a lot easier. Otherwise, it's not worth the time.
See, I was going to make a joke and be like, well, one of them's Yep, but then I was
that would have been funny. And also, but you know what?
That's how rumors get started.
No. I'll tell you what would have happened. Somebody would have clipped that little bit right there. Oh, that's just Carrie and Yep, because Carrie, like somebody would have clipped that right there and taken it back to the other creator, be like, I have proof. Here's proof. They want proof. Like they would use that to their narrative.
I think stuff like that is just so silly and far from that all you can do is laugh about it and just move on.
Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. I have been ignoring this person, although I've been criticized for being a stalker because I drove by the house one time to protect a friend of mine who was supposedly broke out a window, and the vehicle was sitting out in the driveway waiting to get fixed. I went to go by after this person said the car was sitting with a broken window, and it was not. So now I'm a stalker after one drive-by, which if that's all it takes, I need to file a lot of anti-stalking charges against a lot of people. And then I'm supposed to get their damn name out of my damn mouth. And I'm like, are you Will Smith? What the hell is happening here? Because who cares? If are you so thin skinned that if somebody says your name, you get sideways about it? Like, who cares who says your name? Who cares what thinks what of you? Stop making a big deal of. But they're into drama more than anything else. Cool, go make your money off of drama. But when you start saying things like you start insinuating without any kind of proof, receipts, backup, evidence, a flippin' why about Carrie being Yep being Carrie, or Carrie and Yep being so close. That's just, at that point, you're trying to ruin somebody's reputation.
Exactly. And I wasn't any closer to her than anybody else was. I mean, she is a mod for so many creators, and respected creators at that. So yeah, that's just some silly stuff.
It's absolutely. And so, this person's going to continue on because every time we mention this
But also,
person,
she's been accused of actual true criminal things like
correct.
people. So Carrie Moody and Yep should not be in the same sentence, other than Carrie Moody absolutely denounces everything that Yep has done. And Tara and I are working on bringing all of that information to the public.
So for funsies, it looks, just to give you guys an idea of how far we've been investigating this and the links that we've gone to, there's another YouTube channel, Chatter. I don't know if that's the right person, somebody who gets in the YouTube chats, if they're a chatter, if I don't know what the proper term is, you'll have to help me out here. But I think I can link a common, frequent person in the chats back to Yip. I need a little bit more to prove it. I think I've almost got it. But there's another person who's making themselves known that we can tie back to them, that nobody else has caught. So just give us time. We're not coming out there until we've got solid evidence to show everybody. But Yip is not a friend. After all these shenanigans, after everything she's pulled, and it goes far and deep. It goes back to 2017. That's how far, to Facebook. That's when she started her shenanigans. She started scamming people back in 2017 on Facebook.
Looky, a cool troll.
Don't give her the name Shenanigans. That's
she just causes shenanigans. We just talked her shenanigans out. That's all.
Right.
I don't want to be. What is Shank Hunter? I don't.
Skank Hunter. This is a little
Skank Hunter.
Skank Hunter. Oh, I even have my glasses on. What the crap, Skank Hunter? I don't want to be anywhere near you, y'all. You cause trouble. Okay. That's not bad trouble. It's fun trouble. The cops aren't knocking on our door. I've never been served with anything to cease and desist. Oh, I probably should have said that out loud, huh? Carrie, that was funny. Laugh, damn it.
Bye, Skank Hunter. They don't want to be more near, so they.
Oh my God, Skank Hunter. Somebody nailed that down. Was that you, Carrie?
What?
Did you just ban?
I did. So
oh, okay.
Part of us. So then go bye-bye.
I was like, dang.
I thought they were just joking.
I didn't know. I'm like, whatever. Well, see, the thing is Amber, is we have individuals from the other creators channel that come in here, take screenshots. Now, I know that's not the case. I know the other creator's been in here and has watched us because that creator has said things that can only be seen, right? Like they are back there hate watching, which I'm like, hate watch. It works for our channel. Go ahead. Doesn't hurt my feelings. Get into the chat because I don't actually ban anybody. I have the power to. And you do too. You're just as much of a mod on here, Amber, as Carrie and Kathy and Carrie and Bronwyn. And so you girls can ban anybody that you're like, nope, not today, Satan, not today. And poof, they're gone. I won't ban people. I'll be like, come back and watch me some more because you're enhancing my analytics. By all means, you're pushing the algorithm. Go ahead with your dumb self. That's great. So that the other creator doesn't realize that the more you do that, the more you send your people in here and the more they take back to you, the better I am. And I've been criticized. This person makes fun of me because I have only 37 followers. I'm like, it's actually almost 300, but I mean, that's fine. But because the other creator has far more than that, I'm like, we didn't do this for the followers. We did this for the conversation. So
I said this in the very beginning when you started your channel. I just don't understand why creators can't just do their own thing. I don't go after others. I don't make crappy, hateful comments in other creators' chats. It's just part of being a respectable human being, I think. There's no sense in it. I have my channel. You have your channel.
Yep.
So and so has their channel, and just leave it there.
Yeah, let it be. Just be cool.
Yeah.
You don't have to like me. Just be cool. Go do your thing. You've got your channel. If it's going good, it's going good. But if you have to exploit other people to make your channel happen, yeah, well, that says more about your character than it does mine. But if you just so we're clear, if you go, I mean, if you want to hear about me being talked about negatively and what a crap person I am, what a shitty person trying to be genuine, which were the exact words that one of her mods used, you can tune in tomorrow. I'll be the highlight of that channel conversation tomorrow. Absolutely.
Hey there, Grandma Sherry. Good to see you.
Hello, Grandma Sherry. Is it Sherry or Cherry? Now I have questions.
Sherry.
Cherry? Sherry. What'd you say?
I said Sherry.
It's Sherry. I hope you're right, because she's about to correct one of us.
Right.
Awesome. So that'll be that housekeeping.
Sherry. She corrected you.
She corrected me. I'm cool with that. I'm very much name oriented. Tell me how to say your name. Amanda. Oh my gosh, did you highlight that? Karens just need to stay in their lane.
I love that.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness. So it's yeah. So if another creator wants to continue to bark about me, and like I said, they've barked about my drinking on air. They've barked about me saying something about Carrie smoking on the air, but they don't bark about anybody else. Of course, they probably don't want to do that either. It's probably not gonna be fun. So, oh, Texas, that's awesome. Texas says losing Veronica and Jillian brought me to YouTube true crime. I only trust you two. The other creators have lost my trust. That says a lot. Thank you. That means a lot. You're welcome. I'm big on pronunciations. It's a pet peeve of mine. I need to know how to pronounce your name. It bothers me when people are like, oh, just, you can say Michael or Michelle. I don't care which. I'm like, but there's actually a big difference between I like to be called Tara, not the other pronunciation.
So yeah, as far as like the Yup situation, I think we have more to bring everybody, and we just want to make sure that everything is, we have crossed our T's, dotted our I's, and I think we have some more information for people.
Agreed.
Hope that she pays for what she's done to everybody.
She's gonna get caught. She is. It's some of the stuff that I found. I haven't loaded it all to our what I call a storage unit, Carrie. on our Facebook group, True Crime Insider. I keep calling our little documents repository that we have for all our information a storage unit, because I don't have another. Like, it's just random crap being thrown in her at this point. It's like grandma's storage unit. Everything is in there. So it's there's a lot of stuff that is out there to find about Yip's situation. I've called Carrie and we've talked for hours, and it's a lot of, but you got to prove it. That's the trick. You have to be able to prove it. And so that's what we're working on.
We don't want to say anything that we can't prove or that would be, incorrect. Because we certainly don't want to mislead anybody. We don't want to accuse anybody innocent. And so that's kind of what's taken us so long with that.
Yeah. But I'll try to make a short for Carrie's, for Carrie Moody True Crime, and she can put that out there. She was telling me, hey, make a short. I'm like, okay, great. And then we both forget. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. But I'll try to do a teaser short to make it clear we are on it. We are investigating it. It's just, we don't want to say something we can't take back. So.
And, to make it a little more serious for those that don't understand, Yup would be very, very helpful to me. And she would text and, things like that. Now, she never did like research for us, or she never sent me any links, for our shows. It wasn't like that. But we didn't even give her heads ups that we were going live, I mean, so it wasn't that kind of.
No, she was great about just showing up and doing her thing.
But
she never complained.
That would have been about a month and a half before Megan passed. She knew Megan. Megan knew her through the chat. So when I say, oh, I've known her for a couple years, and it's an online person, it doesn't mean I've known them in person, right? That's a difference, okay? Tara, I actually know Tara. Amber, I actually know Amber. Yep, I'd never met in person, okay? Yeah. So where was I going, Tara? I'm getting tired.
We have our oppressor. So it goes back to the point of when it comes like take Shenanigans, the women on Shenanigans, we've met, we've hung out, we've spent real face-to-face time together. When you go back to the YouTube community, just because somebody's a mod does not mean that we've met them in person. It means that they've proven a certain standard that we can rely upon. And yep, met that standard by experience. But that doesn't mean just because we say, oh yeah, we've known her for a year or two. We knew her through the YouTube. I never actually talked to her on the phone. Several people did. I never heard her voice on the phone. I always thought that was a boundary we couldn't cross. I never even suggested it. It was always text messages.
Yeah.
Always.
Same here. Same here. And so, yeah, what I was saying is that she knew Megan, my daughter that died in late November. She knew her through the chats. Megan was also a mod. So she knew her through the Kansas women as well, through that whole, case. So when Megan passed, yep, obviously she started sending me daily texts, how are you this morning? Just checking on you, dear friend. Sunshine memes, cheer things to like cheer you up. And I thought that was sincere. I don't know if it was or not at this point, but I thought it was at the time. I thought that's really kind of somebody I've never actually met in person. Take time out of their morning or night, whatever it was, and do that. And it was on like a daily basis. And now I look back and I think, wow, she had a full-time job out of texting all of us these cheer me up memes. I'm here for you, friend, that kind of shit.
Yep.
I had to have been a full-time day job just doing that, honestly. But when it came time for Megan's funeral, she said, I wrote your daughter a poem for you to read at the funeral. And she wrote, okay, hindsight, AI wrote it, a poem for my daughter's funeral, who Tara on the screen read that poem at my daughter's funeral, which was recorded. And that is all I have left of is that recording that now has this fucking internet scammer on there. So say again that I'm yep.
Yep. In fact, you say it to me first, because if you can get past me, that will be a really neat fucking trick. Because nothing, ask Amber and now ask Carrie, because Carrie and I've only known each other for a year, and I made damn sure when her daughter passed, nobody would touch her and nobody get near her. And I threw myself under a bus to make sure nobody would say a damn thing. And people fell for it. So
yeah, you want to fall for it. And that's another thing I want to say is like I've seen in different chats, like people think that it's like don't ever give money to somebody you don't know. What the thing is, we did not give her money. We gave her time. We gave her a little piece of our lives. Writing a poem for my daughter's funeral, that's a pretty big thing, I think. And if you haven't, had to bury a child, you're not probably going to understand how I feel about that now. It really makes me very angry and very sad. So it's not just money. People can scam you in other ways. And one of the other ways she do is she tried to be very helpful. Yeah. If you need this, I can do this, things like that. Like I said, Tara and I never had her do anything like, research or anything like that for us. But that's kind of where we are on the whole yep situation. We're just as upset and sad about it as everybody else is.
Oh, it's defeating and it's disappointing and it's maddening, absolutely maddening. So we will get there. Just give us time to do the right thing. That's what we need. And again, looks like we're going to tie a couple of these YouTube personalities together.
Yeah.
So
Ducking said, I've never met Katie, but I think we should be in charge. That's for sure.
Correct. Absolutely. And it's, it would be cool to meet these women in person. We've all hung out together a few times, and it's such a neat dynamic, which is why when I started putting Shenanigans idea together, Carrie kept pushing me, you need your own channel. You've got to be hosting a show. You need to go out there. You do really well with this kind of thing. It's like, well, you have to do it with me. She's like, all right, fine, but I don't want to, but I'll do it because I hate being on camera. I'm like, I'll do it with me anyway. And I told the rest of the girls, they're like, that's a great idea. It's because we don't always agree and we have different views and we have different perspectives, but man, we have such cool personalities, and those personalities, they link up so stinking well. And so no matter how we differ, we're just like, oh, okay, I get that. Your point of view is not my favorite, but I can manage with that one. Like, I can see where you're coming from. And so it's, you can tell the chemistry in the room, so to speak, when we are on air together. You can tell that we have interacted and we have met and we've bonded. I think that's why so many YouTubers go solo. It's hard to have that kind of cool connection. And so, it's very, we've got a great thing going here, having this bond and these conversations and this opportunity just to speak openly and freely.
I think something that would probably surprise a lot of people is that Tara and I don't agree in true crime. We don't, like, and we'll talk about it. We kind of debate it a little bit, and I'll be like, well, I believe my way, you believe your way. And but that's cool because we don't always agree. So
No.
we have different opinions on things. And I think that makes it even more cool. And Amber, she has a totally different personality, as does Katie and Kathy. And, I mean, like, it's just, we're all so different, but it's a really cool group too.
Yeah, it really is.
Wait, there's a liquor closet. I should make more lives.
Only if you want to get talked on other creators' channels, because apparently I'm an alcoholic in another channel. So, whatever works, it's all good.
Is that why you have your coffee cup tonight?
So my boy actually made fun of me before we came on live. I asked him to get me just a little bit, a fingertip of, it's Jameson. I wanted a little bit of Jameson, but it's the coffee flavored Jameson. It was a great little tide over from dinner. And then I actually had my tea in my little carafe thingy, right? That was my ginger lemon tea. And there's actually ginger and lemon in there. I could show you, but it looks kind of gross. And then I had my lemon lime water because I'm just trying to stay freaking hydrated as much as freaking possible. I dehydrate. Just if you look at me and smile, I dehydrate. Like, that is the essence of my life. So I'm constantly, so my boy sees this. He's like, is that all liquor? Like, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, no, I swear, one's a real tea, one's a real water. It's just a little, he's like, sure, Mom. Did you want me to call AA for you? Did we set the meeting up, or can you handle that? I'm like, you little asshole. It's not why I had children. This is not why I had children. Not for this kind of judgment. I wanted to be loved.
Ducking says scammers always integrate themselves in larger communities and make themselves invaluable. And that is exactly what she did. Exactly.
Yep. And there's always a little defender out there that.
Well, that's what people like Grandma Sherry just said. I get talked about all the time. There's, people out there right now with the Yep situation that are trying to tarnish good people's reputations, and Cash is one of them. So I don't understand why anybody would want to do that. The people that were victimized, let them handle it then. If you weren't and you don't agree with what everybody's coming out with, then just stay out of it. That's
correct.
None of your business at that point.
Agreed. And that's why we bring it over here to Shenanigans to talk about. And with that, we've been at this for 2 hours, if you can believe it.
Yeah, I gotta go to bed.
So do I. I'm just like, wow. It just kind of, it's a great show, great conversation. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's like almost 2 hours in.
Yep, that got me kick in. Now I'm gonna be like, what?
I know. I need to go get some lavender tea or chamomile tea now to get me to unwind for the evening. So, but thank you all, everybody in the chat. Thank you, Grandma Sherry. I think this is the first time I've seen you in the chat, so I'm glad you are here. Thank you, Patrick. It's good to see you. Ducking Point, you're such a regular, and you're just as solid as Patrick. I know Texas Bluebonnets was in here earlier, and I know I'm missing some people. Amanda, she was awesome. She had some great one-liners.
Amanda.
So if you're listening, the chat it's a live chat panel. When we go live, the chat is live with us. We try to interact with them and engage with them, but don't worry about it. The conversation exists if you are on replay. If you have an idea for a Shenanigans conversation, please let us know. You can send your ideas to shenaniganstalks@gmail.com. You can send them anonymously through a text, 316-285-9595. It's on the screen now. Yes, I'm right. There's also a Facebook page, Shenanigans Talks. Join it. Join in the conversation. I put something controversial in there today. I lit up some people. I hope that gal is still talking to me today. If not, then I have learned where I stood. It wasn't trying to tick people off. Was trying to get the conversation.
I gotta look it up. Then I haven't even seen it. I haven't even been on my phone today.
Oh, it's a Wichita thing. Mayor Lily Wu refused to sign a proclamation that the city council voted on for Trans Visibility Day on March 31 for Wichita. She refused to read it. She refused to sign it. She read the other two proclamations, and then one of the other council members, they read it and signed it. And so it's actually a violation of city ordinance, it sounds like. So I don't know how that's going to go down for Lily Wu. Lily Wu being the old anchor for Wichita at Cake News, if you remember. She would enunciate when she would be on air because she needed some occupation. She needed some more speech therapy because English was not her first language. And so I brought up hey, so here's some questions. And remember, discussions are all about acceptance of people think differently than you. Go. And I lit some fires because I'm like, okay, so for rich conversation purposes, tell me why this. Like, where's just go read it. You'll see where I'm coming from. You'd be like, oh, okay, I know what she's trying to do here. And I don't think there's any responses to the one I pissed off. So I hope I didn't piss her off because we serve as admins for another Facebook group. So I'm like, you need to talk to me. You're going to have to. I'm sure she's cool. At any rate, go to Shenanigans Talks on Facebook. We're getting some pretty controversial and cool conversations over there. Feel free to post conversations in Facebook in the Shenanigans Talks Facebook group. This doesn't have to just be me. Anybody can do it. So yes, we are a great little group. And yes, we are glad Amber's okay. Texas Blue Bonnets.
Me too.
I want to share real quick, Tara, if I can. If anybody has been following the lady that is claiming that her father is the Zodiac killer and the hitchhiker murderer, I am putting out a video tomorrow on that, and then will have a series shortly, like every few days, every couple days. But tomorrow I'm putting out a good video on that.
Yes.
And it is so interesting. I'm so invested. I'm in such a rabbit hole. Oh my goodness.
It is something else. It's truly interesting.
If you haven't heard about it, go look it up. The lady's name, Galena Trefil.
Yeah, Galena Trefil. Yeah. So go to the True Crime Insider page on Facebook and you'll see the post there, and it's just endless. Absolutely endless. There is doctor's notes. The murderer was a doctor. The supposed alleged murderer is a doctor. So there's doctor's notes. He was murdering other people's patients. He was murdering random people off the highway.
Dang.
It's
he
unreal.
killed like one a year. So I think it turns out to be like 280 people. Don't quote me on that number. But if it is true, he would be the most prolific serial killer in the United States history.
So
wow.
Lots going on with that. So I'm excited for that series. So all right, ladies, I think we are going to call it good. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Chat, for being here. Such a great conversation. We'll see you guys next Thursday. I don't know what we're going to talk about because we've not prepared for it, but something will happen between now and then, and we'll discuss it. It'll be fabulous.
So it'll happen. Something will.
Everybody have a great night. Carrie and Amber, hang on the line for me before you guys check out. But you guys have a good night.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.